HTTP protocol to stateful. So with this, the information between the client and server will be stored at server side. Okay, then that information is easier for the server to identify the client easily. Okay, so because of this reason, so session tracking is required. Session tracking or session management, whatever, session tracking or session management, so that can be done by the server. One is cookie. In the last class we have seen the cookie. So now I'm sharing the screen. Now tell me, is it visible? Yes, respond.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so session tracking solutions, session tracking, session management methods. Cookie is one. URL rewriting, hidden form field, HTTP session or session tracking API. These are the four mechanisms. You can use any one. Already we have seen the cookie. So cookie is a smallest small piece of information, a small file. So that is created by the server and stored in the client computer. Okay, so cookie has a name, value, some optional attributes like comment, path, domain, qualifiers, age, version. Okay, these are the attributes of a cookie. Already we have seen this diagram, how a cookie is working. First time only request is transferred from client to the server. Server after processing the request, server give the response plus cookie. Cookie will be added in the browser. If next time any request from the same client, along with the request, cookie also transferred to the server. So with the help of this cookie, server is going to identify that client easily. Okay, this is how a cookie is working. Then there are two types of cookies. One is a persistence cookie, non-persistence cookie. In the non-persistence cookie is used for each and every request. After processing that request, that cookie will be removed. Okay, that is a persistence. After processing one request, cookie is removed. Okay, so persistence cookie. Then how many requests in that session? Only one cookie is going to handle. That cookie is removed when a user is logged out from that application, from that website, from the browser. Okay, these are the two types of cookies. Then advantages, disadvantages we have seen. Simplest technique of maintaining the HTTP state. Cookies are maintained at client side. Client side disadvantages are if it will not work if cookie is disabled from the browser. Okay, only textual information is transferred. These are the disadvantages. One constructor is there, cookie with parameters, without parameters. Constructor, some methods are there: set max age, get name, get value, set name, set value. These all are the other methods of cookie class. Set max age for setting the age of the cookie in seconds. Get name, only retrieving the name of the cookie. Get value, retrieving the value of the cookie. Set name, this is for changing the name of the cookie. Set value, this is for changing the value of the cookie. Okay, some other methods like add cookie. After creating a cookie, what is required is adding cookie to the response object. To the response object, not to the request object. It is added to the response object. This is one. And one more, get cookies. Get this method for retrieving all the cookies which are available in that. Okay, so this is a functionalities of cookie. So that means creating a cookie. After creating a cookie, add method. So two methods are required for this creating a cookie and add cookie. Next to delete cookie. So here set the max age of the cookie. Then after setting the age, add the cookie. Automatically after that time, the cookie will be deleted. Get cookies, you want to retrieve all the cookies, get cookies, this method is used. Okay, so say there are some limitations not more than 4 KB per cookie, and not more than 20 cookies per site, not more than 300 cookies total. Okay, that a cookie is going to store this much data only, 4 KB data. Next, not more than 20 cookies per site. If you take any site in that 20 cookies, more than 20 cookies not possible to store. Then not more than 300 total. That means if you take one browser, in that browser, including all the sites, not more than 300. So less than 300 allowed. Okay, these are the limitations. This one is a diagram we have seen. The next technique is hidden form field. Hidden form field. So your form field, form. So HTML form. So that consists of different kind of fields like a text field, text area, different kind of buttons like drop down, push button, submit button, cancel button, reset button, radio buttons. Different fields are going to be there. Here, one more field added in the form, that is a hidden field, hidden form field. One more extra field that is not visible. Okay, this field is used to store one ID. That means it is going to store one number, that is a ID. With the help of this number, server is going to identify. That is a hidden form field that is not visible. Okay, so here in case of hidden form field, a hidden text field is used to maintain the state of an user. Hidden, invisible text field. So in this case, we store the information in the hidden field and get it from the another servlet. This approach is better if we have to submit form in all pages and we don't want to spend depend on the browser. So if you depend on the browser, what will happen if you disable the cookie in the browser? So it is difficult to get the track the information of the client. Okay, clear? So in the cookie, one disadvantage is there. What is that? If we disable in the browser, cookie is disabled in the browser, so server cannot store cookie into the browser. Okay, if cookie is there, then server can easily recognize this client. So it disabled, cookies are disabled. So server cannot store the cookie. So server cannot get the information from the cookie. So to avoid that, this is another mechanism. This approach is better if we have to submit a form in all the pages and we don't want to depend on the browser. Okay, so here we have this is a field like this, input to type equal to hidden. So in the form field, so input is a tag, this a type is attribute, so a type equal to hidden. So if you want to create a text field, type equal to what, a text, to type equal to a button, so like that. Here simply type equal to hidden. When hidden form is created, here name equal to some name, then value equal to some value. So like that, like cookie. So cookie has a name and value. Here also one name is given to this field and value also given to this field. With the help of this is a ID. With the help of this, then server is going to identify the this user easily. So here uname is a hidden form field name and this name is a hidden form field value. Okay, so here real application of hidden form field, it is widely used in the comment form of website. In such case, we store page ID and page name. Page ID, every page is going to have a name and ID. Okay, so we store a page ID or page name in the form field so that each page can be uniquely identified. Yes, if you take one site, it consists of different pages. So every page is going to have a ID and a name. Okay, so every page have a unique ID and a name. Then here each and every page can be uniquely identified with the help of this ID and page. Here form field is used. So real application of form field, this one. Then advantages of form field, hidden form field. It will always work whether cookie is disabled or not. Yes, it does not depend on the browser. So that is advantage, main advantage. Then disadvantages, it is maintained at server side. Yes, server side. So extra form submission is required on each pages. So extra one more field is required for each and every one, or extra form is required. If form is not there for a page, then one extra form is required to create. That is, and it is maintained at server side. So that means this information can be used for server only, but the user cannot change that name and value. These are the disadvantages. And one more, textual, only textual information can be used. So in cookie also same thing. In cookie also only textual information can be saved or transferred. So these are the disadvantages. Then we'll see one example. Here we are storing the name of the user in a hidden form field and get that value from the another servlet. Here two servlets. So same thing. Here this is a one form submitting to the server. Then server web container invokes a servlet one servlet. Here welcome user one hidden form field, that is an invisible text field, some values. If we submit that, if we submit this to another servlet, so that means another this servlet invokes another servlet. So this another servlet retrieves this whatever the information is there in this. Okay, so like that. So in the form, in normal form, in the servlet, while processing, one hidden field is there. Okay, hidden field is added or hidden field is there in this form. If this form submitted to another servlet, this servlet is going to retrieve this information, this hidden form field information. Okay, so that means the information is transferring between this servlet 1 and servlet 2. Okay, so this is an example of hidden form field 1. Hidden form field is added that is not visible. Okay, while processing, that information is taken and that information is useful while giving the response back to the client or to the servlet, whatever. Okay, now clear? Yes, respond. Only if you, what happened to the remaining? You are listening or not?
Sir, listening, sir.
Okay, so this is a second mechanism of session management. Then we'll see third one. So third one is a URL rewriting. Here in URL rewriting, just we add one ID along with the request. So request means in the URL we can type, for example, you want to access the gmail.com. That is a request submitted to the Gmail server. Okay, so at the end of this gmail.com, one ID is added. One ID, that is a unique ID is added. So request plus that ID, appending that ID transfer to the server. So server retrieves that information. That means so gmail.com. This gmail.com who is accessing, who wants this page to open. So the server can has to identify the client. So in that request, one more is there, that is a ID. Okay, this this client asking the Gmail that site to open. Okay, so now this server is going to give a response to this particular ID. Who is asking this Gmail that to that ID, response will be given back. Okay, so like that, server can easily give the response back to the client. If ID is not there, so many requests from the clients, Gmail like that. Okay, this Gmail, this request to which client exactly? So the server will confuse. To avoid that confusion, that conflict, if ID is there, then it will give the response correctly to the particular client. Okay, so in URL rewriting is like that. So here we append a token or identifier to the URL of next servlet or the next resource. So we can send parameter name value pairs by using this following format: URL, yes, URL, question mark, name equal to some value, then name to equal to some value, and something. So that is a hello. నేను మళ్ళీ సార్ బిజీగా. So here name and value is separated using an equal sign. So name and value separated. A parameter name value pair is separated from another parameter by using and symbol. When the user clicks the hyperlinks, the parameter name and value pairs will be passed to the server. Yes, this information, this name and value is passed to the server from a servlet. We can use get parameter method. Get parameter method is used to retrieve that parameter value. Okay, this is a URL rewriting. After the URL, so whatever the name, whatever the information is there, okay, that can be taken. Okay, and the server will process that. Rewriting, so appending, rewriting means what? Writing again. Okay, so here we'll see example. One form submitted to server, so server invokes the servlet one. Here after taking this information, one is there, welcome that user, then one more link is there, some link, hyperlink. Okay, so to process this, another servlet is invoked. Okay, after clicking on this hyperlink, another servlet is invoked. Okay, so this servlet 2 is going to display whatever the information is there on the form. So that means here you have to remember one thing: the information, whatever the information in between this form and this servlet, that information will be there in the servlet 2. That means servlet 2 is going to get the conversation between this client and this servlet 1. Actually, this session tracking mechanism is not there. Only the information between the conversation between this form and the servlet 1. Okay, once that is terminated, once it is given redirected to another one, this information will not be available. Okay, with the help of this session management or session tracking, this information is available throughout this application. Okay, here some conversation happened between this form and this servlet 1. The same conversation can access this another servlet 2. Okay, that means this is redirected to another one with the help of this session tracking, URL rewriting or cookie or whatever it is. Okay, so now the servlet 2 is going to able to get this conversation, whatever the information is there in this. Actually, this form submitted to this servlet 1. Okay, now the servlet 1 is forwarding the same to another servlet. Okay, this is a URL rewriting. Here some advantages. So it will always work whether cookie is disabled or not. Okay, this is like hidden form file. Extra form submission is not required on each page. So in the hidden form field, what is the disadvantage? Extra form submission is required. Extra form submission. Okay, but here no extra form submission. Then disadvantages. It will work only with links, hyperlinks. Okay, that is a problem. Then it can send only textual information. Same thing. Yes, this problem in all, in the cookie, in the hidden form field, in the URL rewriting, only textual information. Okay. The next one is a HTTP session interface. That is HTTP session. What another fourth session tracking mechanism. HTTP session Java session API. Fourth one. Here in this case, whatever the container, web container creates a session ID for each user. Yes, for each user, one ID is created. That is called a session ID. The container uses this ID to identify the particular user. So that means that the server is going to identify with the help of this ID of a particular user. So here an object of HTTP session can be used to perform some tasks, two tasks. One is bind object, another one is a view and manipulate information about a session, which has a session identifier, creation time, and the last access time. Okay, these two tasks can be performed by session object, HTTP session object. One is a binding object, another one is a view and manipulate information about a session. That is nothing but session identifier can be manipulated or viewed. Session creation time can be manipulated or viewed. Last accessed viewing. So that view or manipulation. This is another second task of this HTTP session object. Okay, so here you can see in this diagram, you can understand there are two clients. So here one, client two. So one request. So here one request is transferred given to the web container. Web container is going to create a unique session ID for this client. Okay. So 1.1 is a request. 1.2 is a creation of a unique session ID. Okay. So one other request from a different client. Okay. So now web container is going to create a session ID for this client. So like that, with the help of that session ID, so server can give a response easily back to the clients. Okay, session ID is there. Okay, for example, after processing one request, now server has this container has a result. Okay, there are two clients. So now this result how to be transferred back to which client? Okay, at that time, server is going to see the session ID, that ID. Okay, this ID belongs to which client? Then that result will be transferred back to that client, which client having that session ID. Okay, so like this, so server can easily manage multiple clients at a time. Okay. Then how to get the HTTP session object? You will get into the code. Then HTTP servlet request interface provides two methods to get the object of session HTTP. One is a get session, HTTP session, get session. Get session is one method. This returns the current session associated with this request, or if the request does not have a session, or creates one. If doesn't have any session, it creates that session. If creation session is there, then it returns a current session, whatever with that request. So get session. So next one is a get session. Here with the first one is a without parameter. Here with parameter get session. This returns the current HTTP session associated with this request, or if there is no current session and create is true, returns a new session. Okay, here if there is no current session, okay, if there is no current session and create is a true. Okay, that means if it is created, then it returns a new session. So here are some commonly used methods. One is a get ID. It returns the session ID. that is returns a string containing the unique identifier value, get ID, and then get creation time, at what time that session have been created, that the time is return the time when the session was created, measured in milliseconds. Get lost access time, returns the last time the client sent a request associated with this session. Okay, last access time, that is written, and creation time. So get creation time, get lost access time. Next, invalidate the session, then unbinds any objects bound to it. So this is for destroying, like that, invalidate. Okay. So these are the four session tracking solutions to make HTTP protocol stateful. Remember, so HTTP is a stateless. It forgets the information. Just to this HTTP protocol, just to transfer the information to the server, or from client to the server, and from server to the client. At that time, after transferring, the protocol will forget the that information what happened between the client and server. Okay, that is called stateless. So no state, it doesn't store any information. That means it doesn't have any memory to store what happened in between these two. Just it is a mediator for transferring the request and response between client and server, but it doesn't store any information. Okay, with this, some problems are there, some burden is there at server side. Okay, that's why the session tracking mechanism is added to the HTTP protocol to make it stateful. Okay, so these are the four, but commonly, mostly used one is HTTP session. Fourth one is mostly used. Then this is a simple program. We are like this: constructor, cookie constructor, request and response objects. So after creating a cookie, add a cookie. Already we have seen this. Then get cookies. Each if multiple cookies are there in the client, then retrieving one by one, get a name, get value. So like that. Okay. Set comment, get set is already we have seen. Okay, this is about the session. Get session, get header names, get header, get int header. Okay, get session, this for getting the session objects. Enumeration, get header names, gets enumeration of all the fields, field names in the HTTP header. Then get header, use a header name, return its value. Get int header, gives a header name, returns its value as a int, returns -1 if no such header. Okay, here exception also thrown, number format exception. Okay, enumeration, get headers, give the header name, returns enumeration of its values. Okay, this is a so like this. So create the session, HTTP session, session equal to request dot get session, returns the session associated with this request. If there was no associated session, once session is created. Okay, that is for session creation. Then store information in the session and retrieve is needed. Okay, for this set attribute name and value is setting. Then get attribute retrieving the name. The session information automatically maintained across request. Okay, this is summary, final summary. A session is continuous interaction with the user. So HTTP is a stateless. So the programmer must do something to remember session information. So there are multiple ways to remember session information. Those are the 5. So the session ends when the user quits the browser. Okay, some information must be kept longer than just within the session. So for this, if you take one example, if the user orders a product, that information must be kept in the database. Okay, if something ordered, that information have to be stored in the database. So long-term storage of information requires that the servlet have some additional privileges. Okay, if you take general, for example, in Amazon, if different multiple sections are there. So, for example, in the electronics, you want to buy one mobile. Okay, then you can what you have to do. You have to add it to the cart. That means you want to buy multiple items. One is a mobile, so another one is a accessory, mobile accessories, and another one is some clothes. Okay, you want to purchase multiple items in that site. Okay, first what you have to do, you after selecting all, we can pay amount at a time. If you even though if you purchase multiple items, but the payment will be one at a time, one only, one payment. That means we have to add all the different items. Okay, that means the information, whatever you have selected the mobile, that how the information have to be stored until selecting another one. Okay, so select the mobile. Then next to that, some accessories of that mobile. This information have to be stored. Then next to some close something. Okay, so finally after selecting multiple items, what we can do finally we can buy. So at the end we can do payment, single payment for all the items. Okay, so now what is required? Each and every item information is required to store. Okay, so to store this all the information, one some session is required to create. Okay, so this information is required at server side. This information is stored in the session. Okay, clear? If session mechanism is not there, if you select the mobile, at that time only you purchase it. You have to pay amount for the mobile. So after payment, after doing the payment for the mobile, the next item you have to select and you have to purchase that. Okay, why? If you select so another item, so previously what you have visited that will be erased. Okay, whatever previously you have visited or which thing you want to get, that will be erased. So whatever currently is available, that information is you can buy or you can purchase whatever. Okay, so by using session tracking mechanism, this information, persistence information, is stored in the session. Whenever we logged out from that site, the session will be deleted, erased. Okay, clear? So with this unit completed. So servlets completed. Yes, respond. Is that okay? Hello.